because we got to get it fixed. So, lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay? You got it? You got it?
I'm just worried about my bird.
Okay, shh. Listen.
A recording Leticia Stauch made with her stepson Gannon hours before she brutally killed him. It's just one of the many disturbing moments from her murder trial so far. I've covered a lot of crime stories over the years, many here at Law and Crime, and it always gets me thinking about ways we can all stay safe. Well, one way you can do that is by trying out Palm Pepper Spray. It's a small but mighty self-defense tool. Palm Pepper Spray shoots up to 12 feet using the strongest legal form of pepper spray on the market. It's safe and easy. You just point it and spray, and if you want to try it, you can get 10% off. Just log on to palmpepperspray.com and put in the code LAWCRIME10. And remember, if you or anyone else is ever in danger, call 911. I'm Anjanette Levy, and welcome to Law and Crime's Sidebar podcast. Leticia Stauch claims that she was insane back in January of 2020 when she murdered Gannon Stauch, her 11-year-old stepson. The question isn't whether or not Leticia actually killed Gannon. We know that she did. It's whether or not she knew right from wrong at the time that it happened, and prosecutors say that she did. Prosecutors say on January 27th, 2020, Leticia Stauch attacked Gannon in his bedroom. They were living in El Paso County, Colorado. That's the Colorado Springs area. Investigators claimed they found blood on Gannon's mattress, walls, and floors, as well as in Stauch's vehicle. Deputies believed that Stauch acted suspiciously when the child was first reported missing. She allegedly told them that Gannon went to play at a friend's house, but she couldn't tell them the name of the friend or where he lived. On January 29, 2020, Stauch allegedly claimed to investigators that a man named Eduardo raped her and kidnapped Gannon. Deputies didn't really buy the story and claimed that she never called 911 to report the rape or kidnapping, and that Leticia wasn't interested in collecting evidence against her alleged attacker. During a preliminary hearing in September 2021, investigators revealed Stauch rented a budget rental van, and information was gleaned from a cell phone in early February 2020. In court testimony, data collected revealed the van traveled from Colorado to Florida. Gannon Stauch's remains were found stuffed inside of a suitcase under a bridge in northwestern Florida in March 2020, about 6 weeks after Leticia Stauch's trip to the area. An autopsy showed Gannon had been shot and stabbed, and he had defensive wounds on his hands. In February 2022, Leticia Stauch changed her plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. This pushed back the trial by an entire year, so both sides could prepare for this defense. Stauch's trial started on April 3rd. Here's prosecutor Michael J. Allen describing in his opening statement how he says Stauch took deliberate actions that proved that she was not insane at the time of the murder.
Told numerous stories to investigators to manipulate the course of the investigation. And finally, to discard Gannon inside that suitcase off of a Florida bridge like garbage. January 27, 2020, Gannon's home, located at 6627 Mandan Drive, here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, turned into the stuff of nightmares. In fact, the one place a little boy like Gannon should have felt the safest, his bedroom, turned into, like I said, the stuff of nightmares. That bedroom is in fact where he was brutally murdered. The defendant attacked him viciously, mercilessly, deliberately, and intentionally. These are exhibits that you'll see from the doctor down in Florida, Dr. Ignacio, when she performed the autopsy. He'll tell you that Gannon suffered 18 stab wounds to his body, his chest, his back, his head, and most importantly, his arms and his hands. Why is that important? Gannon was fighting for his life, and those were defensive wounds. Next came a crushing blow to his head that was so strong, it fractured his skull like an eggshell. That wasn't enough for this defendant. He retrieved a 9mm handgun, fired it at Gannon 3 times. 2 bullets struck the pillow near him and were caught in the fibers of that pillow. That 3rd bullet entered his jaw, traveled through his head, fracturing his mandible, his vertebrae, hitting his spinal cord, and lodged in the back of his head and was recovered at autopsy.
Alan went on to describe how he says Leticia Stauch took steps to destroy evidence.
There were no obvious signs of a struggle or a murder because the defendant had cleaned them up. And also realized she had Gannon's blood on her person. Clothes that she was wearing, likely containing Gannon's blood, based off of how much blood had hit the walls, were never found. Her clothing was never found.
After the prosecution made its opening statement, it was the defense's turn. Leticia Stauch's defense attorney, Will Cook, said that he doesn't deny that Leticia Stauch killed Gannon. He said that a psychotic break led to it.
And the axe, putting Gannon's body in a suitcase and traveling 1,300 miles, whole of Florida, and throwing the suitcase, Gannon's body in it, side of an overpass. Different stories she told. She was raped by somebody. Person who raped her kidnapped Gannon. Hear all the stories. The prosecution's going to play it for you. These are all signs and evidence of a mind, a soul that is broken, most fundamental and profound way. So broken, doesn't even know what it was doing. What was going through that person's head? The killer Gannon's head. Stauch's head. All the stab wounds, the shootings, the bruisings, the beatings, the burns. What was going through that person's head? I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. For the person that she was killing that day, attacking, I wasn't Gannon. I wasn't Gannon to her. Wake up that day and go, I'm going to kill him. No. She was killing the demons. Her life from the dark depths of her childhood and her life.
One of the most heartbreaking parts of this trial was listening to the testimony of Al Stauch. That's Gannon's father. He served in the National Guard. Imagine leaving your son with your wife, someone you trust to take care of him, and not having a worry in the world that something bad might happen.
Let's talk about Gannon's relationship with the defendant. How would you describe that relationship?
Trusting. I'm comfortable saying I think he had love in his heart for her. I don't think he was afraid of her, any fear for her. One of the things about Gannon that is special, and I think it's special about a lot of young boys, he absolutely loved his mom. And he had some of that same love for Tisha too.
So he was a mama's boy.
He was, absolutely.
How was, I guess, who would discipline the kids? And when I say the kids, I'm talking about the little ones. So Lena and Gannon.
Both of us, both myself and the defendant.
Al Stauch then testified about when he realized that his wife Leticia was lying to him about what happened to Gannon.
Did you have an occasion to see surveillance video from neighbors in your neighborhood? Did you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see Gannon ever walking away on those videos from your house and never returning?
I did not. No, sir.
Okay.
So back to.
So, well, I have
okay,
to ask a question.
Okay.
So you were earlier describing an accumulation of things that led you to change your opinion or your mind as to what actually happened with Gannon.
Yes, sir.
And you said, I think one of the big things was the defendant telling you that her car was at French, you go to French and it's not there.
Yes, sir.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, that was the key moment when I switched from, she knows more than she's telling me she knows.
The jury then heard a recording of a conversation that Al Stauch made when he was talking to Leticia.
And I want you to know that no matter what, we can work through this together and I can help you, okay? But you just got to let me help you. But I have you told me to be straight up. I got a very straight up question, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you kill Gannon? I need to know. I need you to answer me yes or no right now.
I killed Gannon.
Did
The
you?
answer is no. I can't believe you asked me this.
I just got to know you. I told me to be straight up. I got to know what's happening to my son.
Tell me why you would think I killed Gannon.
There's a lot of unknowns. I mean, being straight up again, you changed your story again to me for the fourth time.
No, I changed my story.
You did. This is the fourth version of the same story, okay?
Wow.
Like half of what you told me today, with the cut foot, and now he's got burned arms and picking it, and his butt's bleeding. All this stuff is new to what you told me the other day. And the other day you told me you cleaned up the area where you got raped so nobody would see it. But now you told me you just changed clothes. I just don't know what the hell's going on.
I didn't tell you. First off, you never even listened to me about anything that went
I
on.
did. No, you stopped because I listened to you. I listened to you, and then I went and got the guns and put them in the truck, and then I came back and me and Landon listened to you, and then I stopped and picked your story apart. So get it straight, Tisha. I listened to you, and I said, if I'm wrong about the rape, I will get on my knees and beg you for forgiveness. Did I not say that?
Yeah, but you haven't.
Exactly, because I haven't been proven wrong yet. I want the truth. If I'm wrong, if the police, no matter what they're doing, the FBI, the CBI, the CBS, whoever, okay, if they tell me I'm wrong, I will publicly, in front of the world, get on a camera and tell you I'm sorry. But until that happens, we're going to find the truth.
How can you tell me that someone didn't I don't understand. How can you tell me that someone didn't do something to hurt me and take Gannon?
I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you it hasn't been proven one way or the other. You said you banged your head on the freaking table. Now I got to tell them to go check out the table and see if there's any blood or any of your...
You knew that. They had already asked that.
Okay, but that's the first I heard of it. You see what I'm saying?
Because you never would talk to me. You literally just sat here in a conversation and asked me, did I kill our child?
Yes, I did, because because if you say no, then I'll stop thinking that you did it. Okay?
Leticia then told Al that she would need immunity in order to tell him what happened to Gannon.
It hurt me to ask it because you're my wife, and first thing I started with today was Happy Valentine's Day. That should tell you how I feel about you, okay? But
I need you to be here with me, supportive.
I am. I'm right. I'm right here. I'm right here.
I'm begging you. If they give me immunity, I will help.
Okay, but here.
I can't get in trouble for it.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to I'm not, you have the legal background. Okay. I don't have that knowledge. All I have is my recruiting time and the other stuff I've done. So you need to help me understand what you're trying to get. I don't understand what that means.
Immunity, okay? Do you know what immunity is?
Other than what I've seen on TV shows, I don't know. I need you to help me. That's what I'm trying to, help me to get you to that point. Hello?
Immunity is that they're going to grant, I'm a judge, that I would not be charged anything in this. Because I didn't have anything to do with it. In return, that I will testify, and I will give them the information of who I've given, and I will testify against them.
Okay. So you're saying, So I'm going to walk back through this so I understand clearly what you're saying. So there's no ambiguity or unknowns here. So you're saying you somehow know where Gannon is or who has him or how he got him or something like that?
See, that's why you're not going to put words in my mouth.
I'm trying to understand, Tisha. Explain to me, okay? Walk me through it so I understand what you're saying. No, why would I record you? This is me and you. I mean, why would I say Happy Valentine's Day on a recording? That's something personal between us.
It's just you and me on this phone call and in your room.
Absolutely. Okay.
The community is where I'm telling you, I told you the truth about Leticia Gannon. There's more details about how that went on. There's more details that I can't discuss that would incriminate myself because they're going to say, why did you say this? But he has all our information. He was threatening to go to work and get massaged and have these people go there. If I said anything in the meeting with the cops, I was late to the meeting. But I need immunity.
So you.
I get him.
So why? What I don't understand is why, babe. Is this not something you would tell me from the get go? I just.
Everything. They were going to kill my daughter. They were going to kill me. They knew where you were at. Everybody. They would do everything.
Yeah, but Tisha, look at what you just said.
There was testimony from a man named Macon Ponder. He testified about participating in a search for Gannon Stauch's remains in Florida. He found a suitcase and described what he found inside when he opened it.
Did you open it?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
I was the first one to unzip it. And before we opened it, as soon as we unzipped it, we immediately noticed the smell. That's what hit us first.
And finally, an autopsy conducted on Gannon's remains revealed that he died as the result of homicide. His cause of death, a gunshot wound to the head, and trauma, blunt force trauma to the head. Toxicology testing revealed that Gannon had acetaminophen in his system at the time that he died. That's not unusual. That's essentially Tylenol. But what was unusual was the test results showed that he had the presence of an opioid in his system.
What other things did you find in Gannon's bodily tissues?
He also had hydrocodone in the liver tissue.
All right, so let's talk about hydrocodone. What is hydrocodone?
Hydrocodone is a narcotic analgesic. It's a drug used for pain, and that is also found in cough medications because it's supposed to suppress your cough.
Is hydrocodone a controlled substance?
Yes, you need a prescription for that.
So I can't just go to Walgreens without a prescription and buy hydrocodone?
Yes.
Is it indicated as highly addictive?
Yes, you can be dependent on it.
What are the effects of hydrocodone on a human?
Depending on the dosage, you can initially become drowsy, lightheaded, dizziness, and if you take a higher dose, it could lead to respiratory depression, or you'll have problems breathing. You'll have lethargy, coma, and eventually death.
Was it unusual, in your opinion, to find hydrocodone in a child of 11 years old, like we did here in Gannon's death?
Yes, I found it unusual.
And that's it for this edition of Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. You can listen to and download Sidebar on Apple, Spotify, Google, and wherever else you get your podcasts. And of course, you can always watch it on Law and Crime's YouTube channel. I'm Anjanette Levy, and we will see you next time.